was posted. This was posted back in July. This was posted back in July of 2022. LeBron James called Boston fans racist as F. Okay, and this article is from Daily Beast. And I just wanted to talk about this real quick because I'm seeing a little connection here. So it says LeBron James didn't hold back when he was asked why he hates Boston fans on the latest episode of his talk show. "'Cause they racist AF, that's why. They will say anything, and it's fine. F, it's my life. I've been dealing with it my whole life. I don't mind. I hear it," the Los Angeles Lakers star said. He then recalled getting a beer poured on him by a Boston Celtics fan in 2012, and Celtics fans wearing SLBJ t-shirts. James isn't the only NBA player to notice the vile behavior. Kyrie Irving of the Brooklyn Nets said he and others have also heard racist comments from Boston fans. Now, y'all know, as a freelance art director in marketing, I have traveled back and forth to many cities with different contracts and stuff. And for a while, I was looking into stuff with agencies, advertising agencies in Boston. And I got that impression, I went out with some friends one night there to a pub, an Irish pub. That's what they have there. And I just remember the people being they were like vigilantes. They were so wild. So I guess I can kind of get that. Here's the thing. There's got to be a deeper look at what's going on here. So in order to take that deeper look, let's look at something interesting. So this is an article from Newsweek. This is the 25 top earning athletes in America. Okay? Dak Prescott. Okay. Person of color. Next, LeBron James. Person of color. Tom Brady. Kevin Durant. Person of color. Steph Curry. Person of color. Tiger Woods. Person of color. Russell Westbrook, person of color. Patrick Mahomes, person of color. James Harden, person of color. David Bakhtiari. Yeah, it's a wash. He looks... I'm not going to count that one, maybe. Ronnie Stanley, person of color. Dustin Johnson. Klay Thompson, person of color. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all of these. You get the point, right? So those are the top richest American athletes. Okay, so let's move on over to the richest NBA owners. So these are the top NBA owners. And I see out of this list of 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. Out of a list of 30 people, Michael Jordan, maybe one more in there, we could say as a person of color. Two more. The other 27, pretty much look white. So, yeah. It doesn't surprise me that Boston is a racist city, because that's the same way it doesn't surprise me that systemic racism is wrapped all up in every facet of Black people's lives in the U.S. and in the Western world. I was watching, who was it? Nina Turner. I think her name was Nina Turner. She was on CNN some time ago. And she was explaining some things about systemic racism. She was on a panel with all white people, and I always think that that's kind of a problematic thing. But they weren't hearing her. They really weren't hearing her. And I think it's very hard, as a person married to a white person, I think it's very hard for the persona of white privilege, as I've said before, to actually just put itself in the shoes of like someone whose sort of ancestors have been enslaved up into 200 years prior. And I think it's something like 238 years. It'll take the average black person like 238 years or something like that to catch up with the wealth disparity that exists between black Americans and white Americans. I don't like speaking in these terms all the time. I don't want to always be speaking in black and white, but until that persona of white privilege can admit that there is disparity. You know, I look at the senior levels of executive leadership in the U.S., no representation. I look at politics, you know, the politicians who hold these important congressional seats, Senate seats, House seats, you know, and the majority of them are white. I mean, I get that. There's 13% black people in the U.S., and that's not even counting other people of other ethnic minorities. But that's not reflected across the board. It's not reflected in leadership in government, in leadership in sports, in leadership in administration, in leadership in entertainment, you know? And until something changes about this, because I get the impression that a lot of people, particularly people who are easily offended, they call you race baiters or whatever that is, you know, whatever. I think they are just uncomfortable like we all are. Nobody really wants to just sit and be talking about this stuff all the time. But the problem is, if you don't talk about it, nothing can be done about it. If you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're going. So I guess this is just the call. This is the call for us to speak up and do something about it. Like I've said in a previous video, you know, calling straight out to managers, supervisors, decision makers here on YouTube. If you happen to come across my channel, give the brown people a chance. Give the black people a chance. But I would like to know what you guys think on this. Like I grew up with 3 brothers and a dad, and definitely big sport enthusiast uncles and my granddad. And so I've never been a huge sports person, but I've seen a lot of sports. It's like one of those things. And it's something that I often see, you know, like the players themselves show a lot of diversity. But when you break into that executive leadership, you don't see it as much. And something tells me if you saw a little bit more representation across the whole board, maybe some of these conversations would start to change, you know. But I would really love to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. And if you have not already, if you're new to this channel, please go ahead, click the like and subscribe button and hit the bell so you know whenever I post a video. And I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.